So, hello everybody and welcome to the first episode of 10 Questions in 10 Minutes, the new live stream series produced by Mokta Museum of Contemporary Digital Art in collaboration with Super Rare. My name is Filippo and today I'm with a multimedia artist based in Los Angeles whose work merges industrial background with sculptural and moving art. Her latest project is Transparent Garden, a series of works that explore the fascination for nature in relation to new technology. She stated that her aim is to design a world curated with beautiful objects. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Luna Ikuta. Thanks for joining me today, Luna.
Hi, thank you for having me here.
Thank you. Brilliant. Now we have 10 minutes, so let's try to start with the first question. Can you please tell me when and why did you start working as an artist?
There's not necessarily an answer of exactly when, but I studied industrial design at school and fell in love with working with my hands and manipulating materials. And so that was a very large factor in the trajectory of where I am right now. I started doing furniture as well. I was working as a furniture designer for interiors before I started my own studio, and essentially a lot of my practice is just material science and not thinking or loyal to one particular thing, but working in ranges of small scale to large scale, now office sweeping or experimental office sweeping. So. Oh, Felipe, I think you froze.
Okay. Hi.
Here, hold on. Filippo is frozen.
Can you see me now?
Yeah, I can see you.
Sorry, I had a technical issue. Can you please tell me what's your creative process?
The creative process, generally, it really ranges depending on what project I'm working on. And I think a lot of it is just looking at like the scope of the work that I'm doing, whether it's in sculpture or this particular video work, or if it's a public art install, and then reading the room of what the work needs. And I would say that 90% of it is just being flexible and open to change, and 10% of it is, or a tiny portion of it is having complete control over the things that you're good at and sticking to your gut instinct. So that's how there's not necessarily a linear process, rather it is just understanding the scope of work that you're working on.
I understand. So how do you know when a work is done, when it's finished?
I think that's more, for me, it's more of a logical issue, right? Like I need to move on, and a lot of it is, or just, I think that it's okay to leave projects finished, or you can feel that something is finished, but have the idea it's finished for now, and come back to it again later. And a lot of times, a lot of the projects that are done end up feeling not completed like 2 years, a couple months down the line, and constantly iterating, adapting, and learning new things from what you have done in the past and applying them to the present. So it's kind of harder. Harder to know when it's done. Nothing's ever done.
I see. Plants and flowers play a very important role in your work. Can you tell me something more about your interest in nature?
I think that in terms of interest in nature, humans, or we are all just very, biophilic creatures. We're constantly interested in engaging with the outdoors, and nature is definitely a muse for a lot of artists, and not necessarily so unique to me, which I know, and that's, I think, it because just as we are humans interested in other life forms outside ourselves and finding inspiration in the subtle gestures of the natural elements and being sensitive to color and texture vibrancy, weight, temperature, and etc. And all those factors that play more of a visceral, evoke a visceral reaction. And that is something that isn't necessarily easily put into words, right? Where we're not able to express exactly what those elements make us feel. And so this series is coming from a place, interpreting those visceral reactions, elements.
I see. Thank you. So what has been a seminal experience that influenced who you are and the art you make?
I would say, again, it's just the background experience I have, and it's this accumulation of trial and errors of different projects that I'm constantly working on. Last year I was really heavily focused on sculptures and physical mediums, and again, everything I do is in physical form, and so even the works of the Transparent Garden, they look 3D, they're all very much live, and it's a physical plant, and it's shot on film. And so, coming to this point, it really is just a mix of understanding like the trials and like the successes and the failures of the previous and projects that you're working on, and constantly evolving.
I see. Thank you. I wonder, what's your favorite artwork or artist?
I think I'm gonna pass on answering that question. I have a lot of favorite artists, and a lot of amazing artworks and artists that I look up to, but that's always changing, and it really depends. It's sometimes when I'm working on one particular project, I'm obsessed with one person, and other times, I'm really one person. So
yeah, that was probably the toughest question I had for you today. Can you please name something you love and why?
I love, if it's not within anything art related, actually, something. Last year, before the pandemic or the quarantine was happening, I was getting really into pole dancing.
Right. Okay.
So I think not by no means am I trip or anything like that, but I think something that everyone should try. It's really nice. Good exercise.
What wouldn't you do without?
That would be with the pandemic. I think we all know we need toilet paper, and just friends, family.
Oh, that's a nice answer. Which current art world trends are you following in these days?
I feel, I guess crypto art, right? That's a trend, it seems. It's definitely not something I thought I was going to get involved in last year, but it's a surreal world, and it's an amazing experience so far, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's great to see that this platform is so open and inviting a lot of different types of artists, and it's this contained chaos, right, of everyone being able to express themselves really freely and being able to see new works that aren't necessarily fed to you with an algorithm. Rather, it's more just genuinely free, open platform to discover new works that you didn't know existed from all around the world. And in terms of a social, and social engagement, and also just for artists putting their work out there, I think this platform is really exciting and new, and there's still so many opportunities and ways to push it forward and evolve. That I think is really exciting.
It is. Thank you. This is the last question. We asked our followers what questions they had for you, and Sarah asked on Twitter about your quote-unquote process. She often thinks of your work as digital trompe l'oeil and would love learning more about how you work with organic materials to create this effect. What do you say, Luna?
For this, it's actually not, to my understanding of it, being more of like a trick, right? An illusion. Well, these works are physical plants, and they have their tissue completely cleared. And so removing essentially the cellular makeup and the chlorophyll from the plants, and with the extraction, you are left with a completely clear, transparent tissue. And that is, again, it's more of a science project, but it involves a lot of other things too to create the film work. So these films are made with the plant submerged in water. So that's another. So it's really not necessarily digitally, and there's no manipulation at all, which I think is what brings life to this as well. Even though these plants are in a sense dead, they are reincarnated again, moving in the current of the water, and it gives this natural feel to it, and it is all natural. And so what you're seeing on this Transparent Garden series is really what exists in the world. And so it's going to be very fun.
That's brilliant. Thank you. Well, that was it. Thank you, Luna, for answering. Of course, it was a pleasure to meet you. And is there anything you want to say to our public?
Thank you for watching, and I hope to talk to you guys all one day. Hope we can meet today.
Brilliant. So I just want to remind our public that Luna's works are available for sale on Super Rare, and that you can follow her on Instagram. Thanks again for joining us today. See you all the next time, I suppose. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.